Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 2017 love reading by Divine Love Tarot, which is me. Thank you for joining me. Obviously, my channel is very new, and I'm very new to recording my readings, so I hope you bear with me as I kind of get my footing in this. It's so much different and easier to do it face to face, but hopefully, I can do this and connect with you. Okay, so please be sure to let me know what's going on in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I truly do welcome feedback. All right, so let's go ahead. I've already shuffled the cards because clearly I'm still trying to get this video thing down. So the first card I pulled for you this month in your past possession. I'm doing a past, present, and future love reading for the month of June. So the first card in the past position was the Ace of Wands. And in the past position, well, in any position, the Ace of Wands represents new beginnings. Aces tend to usually represent new beginnings. The Ace of Wands is a possible new beginning brought about by a fateful step or a fateful event. Okay, and this particular event may instigate a chain of new beginnings, a chain of events that leads you to this new beginning or that leads you to a goal that you've been trying to attain. Okay, this card signifies that you should be ready to act on opportunities. So something comes your way, you've got to grab it. You've been wanting it. There's no time to deliberate. The time is at hand. Go for it. Okay, Ace is here. Go for it. In the past position, it represents a bold move that was made on your part. Okay, your creativity is kind of tied into your identity, or whoever this card can represent. Their creativity is a big part of their identity, and in your relationship, it could signify that your relationship is about to undergo a new beginning. Okay, so maybe things have been kind of status quo for a while, and it's going to shift into a new gear. That's what the Ace of Wands is saying to you. Okay, um, but you'll need to kind of level up with the relationship. Okay, your relationship can't do more than you're putting into it and your partner. So if you want a deeper relationship, you're going to have deeper understanding. You want deeper love, you're going to have to express deeper love. So that's kind of what the Ace of Wands is representing. Um, it can also signify the birth of a child. So hopefully that's good news for somebody, okay? If you're single, it's kind of telling you that new love is on its way, but that's just such a generic definition, I believe. I think if you're single, the Ace of Wands is telling you to get out there and don't miss opportunities. Sometimes we have a type of person or we have someone in mind that we want to be with, but there's something else and it's there for you to grab it. Okay, single, so possibly there's something out there for you, and you're looking at somewhere else, but that wand is there for you to have your new beginning. All right. The second position, I pulled the Two of Wands. So twos generally represent balance, okay? And in this card, it can kind of indicate a deadlock due to energies, which could mean that your relationship is out of balance, okay? Or you guys are working against each other, or you're what you want and what your partner wants do not mesh. Okay, so there's a lack of balance there, and you guys need to kind of work together to get that back on track. It can also indicate kind of like a damned if you do or damned if you don't type of a situation. You may have gotten into a situation where you're a little bit over your head, and which is another form of being out of balance, and you're trying to figure out now how to get back, either how to get out of it altogether or how to get back to a place of comfortable ground. Okay, in the past position, it indicates a power trip. that may have resulted in whatever current situation that caused the imbalance. So if either you or your partner um, did something or exerted their power or let your ego get in the way, you may have gotten what you wanted at the time, but now it's caused a situation where you're dealing with this imbalance in your relationship. All right, or maybe you got what you wanted and you're content, but maybe your partner is not content. All right. Whatever the situation is, whether you're happy, content, or unbalanced, you pushed for things to be the way that they are now. It was something that, you fought for, you pushed, you demanded, you wanted, and now it's caused this unbalance and you have to deal with it. Okay. If you're single, you may have already met someone who could be good for you. Keep an open mind and give them a chance. So that's kind of reminiscent of this first card. If you got somebody there, that person could be good for you. How will you know if you don't give them a chance? Okay. And now in the last card that I pulled in the past position was the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, nines represent freedom. So the Nine of Pentacles usually stands for financial security. It points to happiness and excess in everything except for love. So in a love relationship, it's an excellent indicator that your relationship will rise to new heights of intimacy and joy. It can also symbolize someone who has everything that they want except for love. This woman looks very happy. She looks like she's got it all. Look at her. She doesn't look like she wants for anything. But there's no man in this picture. So sometimes, and when I say this woman, I mean it could be a man who has everything that he wants, but he doesn't have the love partner that he wants. So the Nine of Pentacles can indicate that, you have everything you want, but there's still something missing. So, you've come out of this unbalance. If there was some type of unbalance here, you've got everything, but you're still missing something. So clearly, there's an opportunity for you to grab hold of what you want. Um, it just might take a little work and a little balancing. And, it's there for you. It's there for the taking if you want it, apparently. Okay? So, in the past position, the Nine of Pentacles kind of points to some issues from your childhood. Okay, maybe you were spoiled as a child, and that attitude has carried on into your adulthood. And so it's hard for you because you're used to getting your own way. You're used to getting what you want. But in this relationship, you getting your own way is causing a problem. You have to learn to compromise in relationships. You can't just continue to think that everything is going to go your way and not care how your partner feels about that. All right. So you probably have a good relationship waiting for you, or could have a good relationship with this person if you stop pushing to always have your way and learn how to compromise and bring back the balance to this relationship. Okay. Or it can symbolize possibly a relationship, but a not quite committed relationship. Not every relationship is an engagement, ends in engagement, or ends in marriage. There's plenty of relationships where possibly one of the two partners is just in it for the fun. They're in it for the temporary, moment, the time being, but they don't consider you someone that they can see long term, or you don't consider this person someone that you see long term. Or maybe your partner doesn't consider you as someone that could be with long term because of this tendency for you to always want to get your own way. That can really grate on some people's nerves. Unless you're dealing with a pushover, nobody wants to feel like they don't matter in a relationship. Nobody wants to feel like they can't ever have their way. You see what I'm saying? It's give and take. Sometimes you get your way, sometimes your partner gets your way, and you're supposed to be able to do it in a loving manner. No one should have to feel used in a situation. So be very careful that you're not upsetting the apple cart, or you're not ruining a good thing because you're always used to having everything you want your way. Okay. Leave that to Burger King and come back and bring your relationship back to where you want it, or where it can possibly go. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the present position of your reading. Okay, so the next card, the first card in your present position is the devil. I can't remember which side I want to put them on. Is the devil. The next card in your present position is the Seven of Wands, more fire. Okay, so we had fire, fire, earth in your first position. I'm sorry, I didn't signify that. And the third card in your present position is the Nine of Cups. All right, so everybody loves to see this card in a love reading, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It may not be a great thing, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. So the devil just kind of the devil rules over the realm of the taboo, right? And when you get this card in a reading, it usually suggests a wake-up call for you. So you or your partner could be exhibiting some type of addictive, codependent behavior, or just could be allowing some type of behavior to go on that doesn't benefit the greater good of you or your partner or the relationship. So it's something for you to look at. This card is telling you, pay attention. Something needs to be done. Okay, you've gone too far with something. In love, it denotes a very strong sexual attraction. Um, And that's not a negative thing, but it tends to be an attraction that is hard to break. It tends to be an attraction that supersedes anything else that's going on in the relationship. So you and this person may be terrible for each other. You may not be right for each other, but the sex is so good that you cannot walk away, okay? Or vice versa. They are bonded to you. They don't want to let you go, and they're doing everything they can to hold on to you because this devil card, and this is an interesting devil card because it's got this cute little bug in the in the middle. Kind of seems a little harmless, but at the end of the day, buddy, you're hanging out on the devil's horn. So it may seem like it's all good right now, but eventually this situation is gonna get into a dark, ugly place. Look at the devil's eyes, okay? He's not playing. And this situation is not anything to be played with. And 9 times out of 10, your intuition, your gut has already been telling you that this situation is no good for you. The situation, the circumstance, whatever it is, you've already felt that it's time for you to get out of it. And this card and this reading is telling you, yes, you need to do something about it. Walk away if you have to, get help, therapy if it's necessary, do what you got to do, but don't continue to be here. Don't continue hanging out with the devil on the devil's horns. It's not safe, okay? And it's not healthy for you or your relationship. Um, let's see. It can also indicate that maybe you're bringing some emotional baggage from the past into your relationship, either you or your partner, and this is not something, it's affecting your relationship, and it's to the point where you may need some type of psychological healing. Okay, whether that's healing from yourself, whether that's healing through therapy, but it's a situation that's becoming bigger than something that you can just handle, by yourself. So once again, it's a sign, it's a wake up call. Hey, we need to work on this. All right. In a more positive direction, the devil card can also indicate that it's time to empower your passion and confidence. Um, allow yourself the opportunity to be yourself. Sometimes in relationships, we tend to try to be one person that we think is pleasing, but we have other needs, wants, and desires that we're holding back because we think we shouldn't want to enjoy those things. And this card is telling you, hey, it's okay. Everything is okay in moderation, as long as we don't get out of control, as long as it's not something that's harmful, right? Cause no harm. um, Enjoy yourself. Let yourself be free. Express who you truly are. Stop holding it in because eventually it's going to come out. Okay, you can't hide who you are forever. So show your spunk, show them what you're made of, assert yourself, and just let the chips fall where they may. Sometimes that's what life is about. you can't get what you want if you don't speak up for what you want. In astrology, this can also represent a Capricorn. So maybe you are dealing with a Capricorn Pisces, or you have Capricorn in your chart, and you'll know if this card is speaking to you or not. And once again, let me know in the comments. All right. So moving on to the second position, this is the Seven of Wands. So this is the fighting for what's right card. Okay, this card is telling you, do not hesitate to speak up or speak your mind. Um, in this position, you could be ready to lay it all out on the line with your partner. Okay, you have something to say about this relationship. You've had something to say about the relationship, and you've been holding back. And now it's time to speak your mind in a considerate, positive manner, in a way to help improve your relationship. Okay? It can also indicate that the two of you are working together through many obstacles, and things are coming up in your way. There's a lot going on, and you've got to get through it, but you're doing it together. All right? You're fighting through it with these wands. If you're single, this kind of saying that you've got to try something new to meet new people. All right? So most of the cards, advice for single people is change up what you've been doing. All right, this is the second or third card that's kind of telling you that. Try something new. If there is somebody there that's not your typical type, give that person a chance, right? That's what the past position we're telling you. If there's somebody there and that person's still there, you still ain't dealt with them, they're still there. So try something new, okay? Um, Card in astrology can kind of symbolize a Leo or somebody with Leo energy. So if you have information about your chart or the person's chart, see if that lines up. Okay. And let's move on to the last card in the present position, which is the Nine of Cups. And look at this guy. Look at his face. Okay, he's drunk. He's drunk on happiness. He's almost full. He's got room for one more cup, right? Because the Ten of Cups is completion, but the Nine of Cups is not damn bad either. And it represents happiness and admiration for your partner. So someone is smitten, okay? Whether this be you, cups represents water, so this could be Pisces. This is our cup. I'm sorry, this is not Pisces. It's a Taurus reading. So this represents. I'm sorry. This represents someone with water energy, and it's saying that you or your partner, you admire each other. All right. The person's content. It's a feeling of victory, feeling of fulfillment. In the present position, it's kind of telling you that trying to be careful of a hollow victory. All right. And going back to the cards in your past position where it was warning or basically outlining someone who was pushing and always getting their own way, you might be kind of somebody in this relationship. It may not be you, but one of you. Someone in this relationship is kind of smug. Okay. Someone seems to be controlling. It seems like they're getting their own way, maybe even sexually. They're just fat on the hog right now, and someone else in this relationship is struggling. And this person, this cup, this one is telling you, look, there's no point to being full off the contentment of what it is that you want at the detriment of your partner in the relationship. Okay? Just be careful. You may be happy, but is your partner happy? All right? So be careful with that because, being happy is fine. But most relationships are two people. And if you're happy and your partner's not happy, then ultimately that relationship is going to suffer. All right? If you're single, it's telling you to have some fun. Okay? Have some fun meeting people without any burdens or expectations. A lot of times we go out and we just hope we're going to meet somebody at that, wherever we are, at this party, at this dinner, at this club, at this wedding. Every time we go somewhere, we're single and we're hoping to meet someone. How about just go out and have a good time? You know, if you're having fun, someone's watching you from afar, you never know what can come your way. All right. So instead of focusing on what it is that you're trying to get, just focus on having a good time and see if that, could possibly bring somebody towards you. All right. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in the future position. All right. So the first card we have in the future position is the Six of Swords. I want to put it right here. Or do I want to put it right here? Okay, yeah, we'll do the Six of Swords. Oh, technical difficulties. My lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay. Trying to do this backwards. Second position. Ooh, we have the Eight of Swords. Okay. All right. What's going on in the future? And the Justice card. So this story is coming together, and boy, oh boy, something's gonna have to give, because if this is what the future's looking like, we want to back it on up to the past and do what we got to do. All right, so first card, Six of Swords. What is that saying? What is that saying to us? It's a good sign, okay? In this position, it's a good sign that your current situation will have a harmonious outcome, all right? It's saying that time is of the essence. You've deliberated and now it's time for action. In love relationships, it suggests that you and your partner will work together to make things more interesting. Um, could also be a good time to maybe travel, to kind of get away, do something different. After a breakup, it suggests healing, or if you haven't broken up and the relationship is still intact, it represents clearing the air and moving forward after numerous arguments. You guys have been arguing, and now you're at this place. You know, you're moving on. The boat is moving on towards calmer waters. All right, you've come out of the past. You've come away from the devil, and all of that struggle and strife that was going on, and your future has potential. All right. Um, it can also represent a change of pace. It can represent a change of pace. So if you're still with your partner, you guys have had to make some adjustments, and you're sailing off in the future together. But if you didn't make it and you broke up and you're single, it's like taking that first breath of relief. Oh my God, that relationship. My God, I'm out of it. Oh, I just need some peace and quiet. I'm gonna go to Jamaica, get my groove back. But no, it's just saying, it suggests that, a change of pace from what was going on before. If you're single, this card can kind of represent changing up your routine. Once again, if you want to meet someone new, every card this reading has suggested trying something new. Change up your routine. Do something different. Taurus, as an earth signs do have a tendency to like routine, to like to do things a certain way, and maybe that routine is preventing you from meeting the kind of people that you actually want in your life. Okay, you're not going to get in a relationship by going to work, going to the gym, and going out to dinner. You can do that every day. You've been doing that every day for the last 10, 15, however many years, and where has that gotten you? So now it's time to change it up. It's time maybe to hang out with some different friends. If you always go to lunch with your best girlfriend, hey, why don't you go to lunch with a coworker? Why don't you go out to dinner? Or, maybe it's suggesting that you take up an offer on some invitations that you normally, wouldn't. Okay. So moving on. Oh, also linked to the planet Mercury, and perhaps the sign of Aquarius. So once again, if it's something that your chart or your partner's chart, let me know if this is lining up for you. All right, so let's move on to the next card, which is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is can be seen as the test. Okay, this person, they are bound, and they are surrounded by swords, but their feet work, right? Why are you still here? Why haven't we walked away from whatever this situation is? Why are we bound? Why are we blindfolded? What are we ignoring? What are we not seeing? What are we pretending that we don't see? All right. it's also the card of the willing victim, meaning that whatever troubles or whatever circumstances that you're in right now, you put yourself here. You know exactly what was going on. You know exactly what you did to get here. Okay, and now it's time to do something about it. Um, Acknowledge your downfalls. Acknowledge the part that you have played in your current circumstances. Okay, so in the future, whatever you've done in your past and your present, in the future, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions. You're going to have to acknowledge it. You can't blame, no pity parties. Take responsibility for your own actions. It can also symbolize a person who is a commitment phobe. All right, so you're here in the relationship, but you're really not in this relationship, are you? Because you're not paying attention. All right, you're here for whatever reason, whatever's holding you here, but you're not seeing. Okay, and if you're blind to your partner's wants or needs, that's not somebody that you're kind of thinking you're gonna commit to. Okay, and this is the second card in this spread that points to a lack of commitment, or maybe no commitment, or one partner wants to commit, one partner does not want to commit. So this card is saying that it's almost like another warning. All right, um it can also be a sign that somebody in this relationship is cheating. Okay, and if your partner's cheating on you, you have no idea that this person's cheating, and they're manipulating you to the point where they don't want you to be suspicious. So they're overcompensating in some other way, and your intuition may be telling you, but you're relying on their words right now. So you're being blind to your intuition, you're being blind to the truth and accepting whatever they tell you, and behind your back there's no good going on. All right? Um in a new relationship, you may not know what to expect out of your partner or vice versa. So maybe you're going into this new situation kind of deaf, dumb, and blind, blindfolded, binded, tied up. But you need to open up your eyes. Okay, that's not a good way to start a new relationship, especially with all the troubles that you've coming out of the past. Okay, um, it can also mean that if you know in a relationship, you may be limiting your partner's power. Okay, um, and that's also a recurrent theme in this reading. So once again, if you have been controlling, if you have been selfish, if you have okay, so if you have this card, it could be telling you that your partner is still feeling powerless in the situation. Or if you are the partner that hasn't been getting your own way, you're feeling powerless in this position, okay? And if you're single, this card is telling you to love yourself. Whether you're single or you're in a relationship, this card is telling you to love yourself first. All right? It can also suggest that you are holding on to someone who is bad for you because it's better to be in a relationship to not be in a relationship. But now it's time for you to reevaluate your situation and determine if this person is right for you. And if they're not right for you, you've got to go. All right? That's what this card is kind of saying to you. You can't sit here anymore. This is not for you. And guess what? Your next card is the Justice card. So whether you make a decision or whatever you what's going on here, justice is going to be served. All right, the Justice card is saying a final decision, karma, cause and effect, just basically the outcome is going to be deliberated, and whatever happens will be final. Okay, so the Justice card is telling that when deliberating over a relationship, ending is usually the final outcome. So if you're in a relationship and you've been questioning whether you should be with this person or not, the Justice card is saying, nah, you've had enough. You've had enough. Okay, you've had enough. The Devil card, the Two of Wands, you've had enough. Okay, you've tried, you've deliberated. If you've been the person who has been on the receiving end of someone who's controlling, you can no longer take it. And not only are you going to end this relationship, but you're not going to feel an ounce of sympathy for that person, okay? Because you put up with enough. That person has used you. They've run roughshod all over you throughout this relationship, and you've had enough, and you are not going to miss them. You're not going to fantasize about how things used to be, because that decision is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. You're going to wake up one day like, oh my God, you're going to take this blindfold off, and you're going to realize, yo, I can walk away from this situation. I don't have to stay here. So this card is saying, okay, enough. Enough. Something's going to happen. Something needs to happen, and once it's done, it's done. This is not the breakup to makeup card. This is the breakup and it's over. So, you've weighed your options, the pros and the cons. You've thought about it, and your decision is going to be firm and final. All right. If it's not about a breakup, it can signify that an issue in the relationship needs to be brought to the surface and resolved, or it will be brought to the surface and resolved, because this is your future position. So all of that, maybe perhaps whatever was going on with the devil card, you guys are going to take the steps that are necessary and work through it. Okay, you're going to work through your problems together as a couple in a fair and logical way that benefits both partners. So it's not one partner making a decision, the other partner going along with it. No, when justice is present, there is balance. There is a balanced and fair decision. So if the person has been using you, it is nothing but fair to cut them off and walk away. It's only fair because they've been wrong. They've been doing you wrong. So there's nothing to consider when you cut them off and walk away. Their feelings don't matter because your feelings haven't mattered this whole entire time. Okay? Let me see. It also says that your current situation is leading you to make a big decision in the future. So in your past and present positions, there were cards that indicated that a decision needed to be made, or something that you did in those past positions is leading us to this position right here. So once again, if you've been the person who's been the cheater, if you've been the person who's been the manipulator, if you've been lying to a person, whatever it was, if that was you, that person's going to walk away from you. And if you've been the one that has been lied to and cheated on, manipulated, then by the end of this reading, by the end of June, you are done with that person. You're no longer going to put up with. At some point in this month, you're going to say, you know what, I've had it. If you're single, it's saying that a commitment may be in the future for you. It's also saying that you need to get clear on what you want. The sooner you get clearer and know what you want, is the sooner that energy or that person can come into your life, okay? This card also represents a person who is seen as fair and balanced, okay? So this is not a rash decision, all right? Whatever comes of this has been thought out. All right, all the pros and cons have been weighed. The consequences have been weighed. The result has been deliberated, and it's going to happen. Okay, it could also represent a Libra. So once again, we have chart information. See if that matches up. All right, so hopefully this is a good outcome. But either way, okay, you're breathing a sigh of relief in your future. Okay, so thanks for stopping by, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments what you thought, and hopefully I will see you next month, okay? Thank you.